I wanted to come back to the question of identity and analytics. If we're going to be monitoring students through all of the modules, all of the components of the course, we need to have a common identity. Now, since we're already requiring GitHub, this is a natural one, and it turns out to be pretty friendly, and I've written some code here to demonstrate that. Let me go ahead and show you that first. As you can see here, I have an include on this page. I'm calling it Fire1, and it's already running online. And long story short, this is doing all the right things. It's actually leveraging Firebase to simplify that connection to GitHub, and it gives me all of the GitHub information once the user consents. Now, if I go back, I'm going to go ahead and load that page. And as you can see here, it says GitHub authentication required, and that's simply just a note for myself. If I go ahead and look at the code behind the scenes and I look at the console, you can see there that I am already picking up that information and writing it to the console. And as you can see here, we get the access token from GitHub, but more importantly, the email in the login that we will use to integrate all of this information. Now, I am storing this information here on local storage, as you can see. And you can see here the values. I'm calling it Fire1, and we have access token, email, and all of that information that you just saw. Now, more importantly in this case is the fact that local storage does not expire. We will always be able to read it, and we can read it from any page or any component that we are using within the browser. And so monitoring videos, monitoring how students click on pages and which parts they use and which they do not, it's pretty simple. Now, that's the question of identity. Now, the other question is that of analytics. How do we do that? It turns out that Google Analytics has a lot of limitations. And there's some new services, and this one that's pretty well funded and it's grown quite a bit in the last 3 years is Heap Analytics. And I'm going to go ahead here and show you a page that I've already set up. I already have the code. If I go, let me go ahead and not open up developer tools, but show you code behind. Go ahead and make sure. For some reason, it's not opening up. Let me go ahead and view page source. You can see here that it has the typical script block that all analytics services require you to add to the page. But other than that, there is nothing else that needs to be done. Now in this case, you can see here that I have a page with a bunch of buttons, and I've already gone ahead and loaded it and clicked on a few of those, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like from the Heap Analytics console side. As you can see here, it's already made the connection to Peter Parker data, which is that token that I pulled out from that GitHub information. And you can see here that I already have 8 events, and it tells me at a very fine-grained level what I'm clicking on. Now, not only does it show me all of the events that I've clicked on, but if I click on them, you'll see here that it says exactly what the target is and a bunch of other information. So that one is for Say Exam, this one is for Say Jams, this one is for Say Bozo, and all of those are functions that are behind the scenes that I've defined. So this is pretty fine-grained information of what the user has done on the page. Now, the advantage that this service captures everything within the page is a good one, because it means that we don't have to think ahead of time about what events to track and write code for in the page. This simply captures everything. And we can always come back and ask new questions, having full access to all of that data. So this is it. It's just a quick video to share with you some of the findings on identity and the analytics side.